I've been playing the first 4 days laying down on my stomach, and I figured, you know what? Since I got my ass kicked yesterday, maybe take it a little bit more seriously. So we're gonna go for a d4 and try to play Queen's Gambit type thing. And we got Queen's Gambit accepted, and we already went through a trap in this line, so I don't really care about getting it again. A lot of the Queen's Gambit development is usually the same in a lot of cases, unless the opponent makes some kind of development mistake. The whole kind of point of the Queen's Gambit is just to get a nice center. Okay, my opponent develops the Queen on f3. So, hmm, I'm gonna go for trying to trap his queen. So, let's just see. I don't know if we need to. So if we go e4, let's just say he goes like castle or something. So e4, castle, e5, then the queen is gonna have a square on e7. Um, hmm. How can we get a nice development going? Uh, let's just try to not touch another piece a second time and continue developing our pieces. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna go here. Yeah, I was watching this other guy's Road to 2000 videos. I've been watching him for a bit. He was on like day 960 the other day. It's like something life with Patrick. Um, and a lot of the thought processes he was making and decisions he was making seemed, similar to my thought processes. And he was choosing moves that even I would have chosen in some cases. But, I definitely noticed he got super, um, what is the word? Uh, like narrow-minded, whatever. I'm trying to, I can't think of the word, so whatever. But he was just missing a lot of shit. And probably because he was focusing on playing good for a video and not just playing chess in general. So, um, we could push to. Oh yeah, and I saw the mistake I made in the last game that I uploaded. Um, my opponent was offering to trade knights, and I thought too quickly, and I took his rook. Um, and he took my knight, and so it was two rooks against two minor pieces, but he had more pawns than me, and it ended up in a position that I couldn't win. So, the problem that I made was that I moved too quickly. So if I go e4 here, it's stopping the immediate threat of taking the knight and doubling my pawns, and I eventually want to push to e5 and threaten his queen. Um, so that seems fine. Plus, it'd be a bad move for him to castle as well, because then it'd be skewering the rook by putting my bishop on g5, attacking his queen. He'd have to move it, and then I'd be attacking his rook that would be there if he castled. So he doesn't do that. Um, I think he just trapped. No, he didn't just trap his queen, but I'm getting a very nice looking bishop. But do I have anything more convincing here? Um, let's just attack his queen. I want to see where this goes. Okay. Um, so I was initially thinking going knight e5, attacking his pretty nice looking bishop. But that kind of leaves me open for a fork. So I don't really know if that's necessarily desirable, but if I do go there and he goes for the fork, I take his bishop and he can't take my bishop. So let's see here. My other idea was going e5, kind of letting him double my pawns. But I think I could go maybe c4, threatening to go d5 at some point. I don't really like that I haven't moved my rooks yet. Okay. I'm gonna keep my bishop on that nice square, make him kick it out himself. Okay. I'm gonna just attack this hanging pawn and also maybe trying to put my bishop on e5. And yeah. So a lot of the decisions that I make in chess aren't always tactical. Sometimes they're just made because I want my position to look nicer than my opponent's. Like I think this will give me some pretty good pressure, and I think I'm winning now because I'm skewering checkmate for his bishop. So if he moves his bishop, I can checkmate him. Okay, that's the end of that game. Didn't lose this one. Next game, let's just go quickly. I got to make up 2 games, and then we'll be back to what happened, where we were before we lost those 2 games yesterday. Yep. So this is a line. It's been played so many times, I don't even remember if it's bad or not. And I don't even know if my main moves that I do against the very common mistakes of this opening are correct. This is something that Daniel Narditsky plays. Yeah, Daniel Narditsky kind of is the whole reason that I started playing the Sicilian and the Queen's Gambit. So another thing to note is that there are many different positions in the Queen's Gambit where they take the knight on f3, and they actually want you to take it with the pawn and not your bishop. Let's see if my opponent blunders. No, he doesn't. So I shouldn't have done that, but whatever. Too late. Um, yeah. Just develop my pieces. And it wouldn't have. I was looking at checking him on a4, but his knight was defending the square, so that was a pretty stupid thought process. Hmm. Now my opponent, he's giving me a second chance to take it with the pawn. But if I develop with the queen, takes with the pawn, I take with the pawn. We have 2 pieces defending the square. He has 2 pieces attacking the square, and he doesn't really have another piece he can stack onto the light squared pawn. So I think we'll just keep a non-doubled pawn structure. Hmm. My opponent moved very quickly. I don't think he should have moved that fast because um, he had a check here. And I think I'll put him in check first. We're doing all this for one single pawn. That's what it's all about, baby. And we got a pretty nice pathway for the D pawn to start moving up the board. My opponent is attacking the hanging pawn on b2. Do I have anything here? I could just castle that way, yeah, and defend that pawn with my rook, and also that. Uh, we could just kick his knight out as well, to see where his knight's gonna go. So I don't know. I don't really like that view that his bishop's gonna have if it goes to f6. I don't like the idea of castling either, putting my king on the c file, having him eventually move his rook there, and it's not looking very sexy. So I just want to figure it out. There, he takes the pawn, then I can put my rook there. Or we could just... Okay. I My brain is telling me, why can I not castle this way? Why is it not letting me castle? Hey guys, is there a reason that I'm not allowed to castle right now? What the hell is happening? Is my game... Oh my god, my game is frozen? Okay, it's back. Yeah, so we already pretty much have an idea of what our opponent's gonna do. He doesn't do it though. So let's get our king out of this open file. Okay? And even if my opponent checks me, that's just not a very good square for his knight. That's that's just a one move threat. Okay. So let's just start pushing the pawn down the board. One. Okay. Let's attack this bishop. See where it goes. I don't know if I made the best move there, but whatever. Could go here. It takes with the bishop. And push the pawn, attack the rook, and then I make a queen. I don't know. Um, I could develop the rook and also defend the knight. The knight, it's not like the knight needs to be defended. Okay. Let's go here now. Okay. Here, where does my opponent want to go with his knight? Um, hmm. We go here, I guess he's... We could attack if we... What happens if we attack his rook? Yeah, but then he takes our bishop, and then it's like, boo. Okay. Just put it on another light square so I don't have to worry about his dark squared bishop. Hopefully. Let's just defend this pawn real quick, just real quickly, then get back to what we were doing. Oh. Um, I go here, could attack that pawn, make him move his rook, and then put my knight on c6, attacking his dark squared bishop, maybe. Okay, so we wouldn't want to take it with the pawn here, I don't think. Would we want to take this pawn with the knight real quick, or would we want to keep? I think we might want to stay with this. Slow and steady, trying not to blunder. Yay, he's attacking my rook. Cover some of his knight's squares as well as putting my rook to safety. So I'll do that. Our pawn needs but only 2 squares to promote. Okay. So let's attack the fork. See if he fucks that up. No, he doesn't. Okay. Now we have a very, very nice pawn that I'm very happy with. Or am I? Hmm. Okay. Um. So if we go here and then we take with the rook. If we go here, he takes with the rook, then that's not very good. If we take his rook, make him create a single pawn, put a rook behind his, and then slowly develop our king up the board, then we might have a bit of a fox in the chicken coop kind of situation here. Fox in the chicken coop is basically you make your opponent spend his time on a very scary passed pawn, and while he does that, you gobble up all of his pawns. That is the fox in the chicken coop. So maybe we want a rook lift, maybe. We could put our king here, maybe. Or we could just develop our pawns. Let's just develop our pawns. Or push pawns, push P, whatever you want to call it. If we put our rook here, we're setting up some pretty gnarly shib. So I think the game now is basically over. It just takes not any big mistakes now. Okay. It's better and better every time. I'm gonna check first. Yeah, so this game is going a lot better than the games that were happening yesterday. Uh, Things are getting worse and worse for my opponent. Um, hmm. We could push the pawn. Yeah, we're gonna push the pawn. We're gonna put our king on to take this first. We're gonna put our king onto c6. Then we're gonna put our rook on e7. then to e8, and then we're gonna trade rooks, and then I'm gonna develop into a queen. Okay. So yeah, my opponent is doomed. Forced checkmate, next move. Pretty simple shit, making him walk into the checkmate. And the end. Okay. 2 games won, 2 games redeemed, 1 day down, and I'm not gonna play over the weekend, so that's it. See ya.